If you're a trans woman that is still at the start of your transition, either just starting HRT or still on a waitlist for HRT, it may feel like the changes that you're wanting to see in yourself are an exceptionally long way away. And for the most part, you are right. But I will say that it is not as long as you think it will be, and there are a lot of things you can do in the meantime to help you feel more comfortable with yourself and feel more confident during your transition, especially in the early days. Hi, Future Sydney here. I forgot to do the usual stuff at the start of the video because I mostly just make TikToks, but I'm here now, so I'm contractually obligated, I think. If you like the video, like the video. If you want to subscribe, that'd be really great. Are you done? Thank you very much. Sorry, Samantha Lux. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. Shaping your eyebrows is actually one of those things that I think rivals medically transitioning in terms of how dramatic a change it can make to your face. I know what you may be thinking. Sydney, why are you trying to make a video on doing your eyebrows when your eyebrows look like that? I grew them out specifically so I could kind of show how I go about doing them myself to kind of put you at ease if you are new to doing it yourself. So because I have grown my eyebrows out, I thought it would be funny to block them in with eyeshadow so you can see just how big my eyebrows are naturally and what I take them down to, which is a little bit less than this. They are huge. I take off literally half of these monstrosities. And today I am going to show you how you can go about doing it yourself. First up, we have our utensils. I just use a standard pair of tweezers, little pair of scissors, and an eyebrow spoolie. This one is attached to a brow pencil, something to brush your eyebrows with. As for helpful but not mandatory things, there are 2 TikTok filters that are actually really great at helping you find what brows will work for you. So number 1 is the L'Oreal Paris Brow Filter. You should just be able to search that and get it on TikTok. I'll throw up a screenshot so you know what it looks like. But essentially it helps you find the right brow shape for your face shape. It is not the be all and end all. If you don't like the way a shape looks on your face, don't go for that shape. Like, at the end of the day, it is what you like the look of on you. And the second filter is actually just the inverted filter. Now, I know we all hate how we look with the inverted filter, but I do recommend looking at it throughout the process of doing your eyebrows to make sure they are staying symmetrical and you're not over plucking on one side and then ending up lopsided. Okay, so before we even touch our eyebrows, I want to lay down some ground rules. If you do not have a lot of experience with doing your eyebrows, don't chop them in half like I do on your first attempt. What I do recommend doing is gradually over the span of a couple weeks, taking a little bit off, seeing how you like it, seeing what you want to change over the next day or two, adjusting and keep going from there. That's more or less what I did at the start of my transition. When we are reducing the height of our eyebrows, we very rarely want to take the hairs from the top. The reason for this is that it makes our eyebrows appear lower, makes our brow bone appear harsher. So when we are reducing the height of our eyebrows, we always take from the bottom. That way our eyebrows are lifted and makes our eyes appear more open. It gives it a little bit more room to breathe and it looks a bit nicer generally. A situation where we would take from the top of the eyebrow is if our eyebrow has a harsh angle to it, like mine does at the corner. I tend to round that out a little bit and just even up the heights if I need to. I am going to start doing my eyebrows in a second, promise. Firstly, I just wanted to say I did a Q&A on my Instagram story a little while ago to get questions people had about transitioning. I want to extend that to the comment section here because it will be a YouTube video, so I can cover as many as possible. So if you do have any questions about transitioning, whether you are somebody that wants to learn more or somebody transitioning yourself, I will be happy to answer them. My apologies for being so close. I know we all need our personal space. You need to be able to see what I'm doing there. I got my little mirror. I am not used to doing this, so it's going to be a little bit awkward, but bear with me, please. Okay, so when I am starting my eyebrows, I like to start by brushing all of the hairs down. This helps you find which ones are a little bit too long, because one of the primary things we want to do is take the bulk out of the eyebrows because it makes our brow bones look a bit bigger. Okay, so the reason I brush them all down is so I can see which hairs are actually a little bit too long and trim them. This will help us take some of the bulk out of the eyebrows, and taking the bulk out helps our brow bone look a little more. So those long ones that are sticking out there are kind of what you're looking for when you're doing this. I find it helpful to use this spoolie to hold the eyebrow in place while I do a little bit of a trim. Typically you want to go against the direction the hair is growing because it's a little bit easier to cut. I am very well aware I'm going against what I just said. I could not get it into frame cutting from this angle because like I got my microphone here, I got the mirror here, I got the camera, it's a whole thing. But yeah, you just want to trim off the excess that's poking out on the underside of the eyebrow. How the fuck do I do this? I'm going to be real with you. It is so hard not looking like a little fucking gremlin trying to do this. I'm usually curled up on the couch with this mirror like pressed directly to my face. But no, it needs to be visible for you for it to actually be a tutorial. You're welcome. This is taking me forever. Now I just do the same thing, but brush it upwards, so we get all the ones that are a little bit too long on the top end. So the reason I do it down and upwards as well is because it helps thin out that middle chunk of eyebrow. It took me a long time to figure out how to actually thin that bit out without just chunking my eyebrow and hoping for the best. But doing the length on both ends kind of evens it out in the middle, I guess. So yeah, brushing upwards now, trimming the extra long ones. So when we're brushing upwards, the tail of the brow is actually a little bit of an exception. So I like to do my brows going straight. I'm more or less going to be chopping off that bottom chunk. So I tend to not get rid of the extra length on these just so I don't lose the length I would have if I had my tail, and that way I can just gel them down and it looks like I've got a full length eyebrow still. So that is more or less how I go about thinning my eyebrows. I'm not sure if the difference is overly noticeable for you, but for me I can tell because they're mine. I forgot one of the tools. Now that I have taken some of the weight out of that eyebrow, I like to go in and shape the top. I lied, there's an extra tool. I apologize, I wasn't planning on making an apology video this early on. Okay, let me just back up a little bit. I have had a severe lapse in judgment. So the additional tool that I forgot to mention earlier is a straight razor. I use it because I have it, but for many of you, it will be far more accessible to just use an eyebrow razor. I use this because I have it and it lasts longer and it looks cool. Okay, anyway, shaping the top. So as I said earlier, the top of my brows have kind of like a point there. So more or less all I'm doing is just rounding it so it follows the shape of my solid brow. If that makes sense to you. If it makes sense to you, it makes sense to me. Okay, I'm gonna do that now. How you doing? How's your day going? Mine's been long. I've been doing this all day because I have to keep readjusting the exposure on my camera because the clouds keep changing. My desk is in front of my window. It's been a nightmare. The blinds go up and down throughout the video. It's a whole thing. Anyway, eyebrows. Okay, so to do this, I brush the eyebrows down again, so that way I'm not hitting any of the good stuff. I'm just getting rid of the little wispy bits that make my eyebrows look pointy on the corner. I'm sorry if you can't see this very well. I'm not going to use a straight razor in a way that I'm comfortable with, so you can see it a little easier, just for general safety reasons. But she rounding. Yeah, when I said very minimal off the top, I mean very minimal. Like, we are just taking off enough to get the top shape that we want. Tiny little bit of rounding. That's all we need. Honestly, it's not a huge difference. Like, it just makes my brain a little bit more comfy because it's not as angular. I was just talking to no one for 5 whole last minutes then. I was explaining things, I was plucking eyebrows, we were having a good time. You missed all of it, I'm so sorry. But essentially I started on the tail of my eyebrow, so what I'm doing is just following the straight line there and bringing it up. But that's where we started, so it would grow down to there, making these babies straight. Because I'll wrap this one up and then try and explain the next step while I'm actually recording. I've got places to be. Okay. And I just realized I forgot to take my headphones off after checking where I got up to. Happy first YouTube video. I'm doing great. Everything's cohesive, completely polished. I'm trying, I promise. I've got ADHD. It's the end of the day and my meds are gone. I don't know what I'm doing out here. Getting by. Okay, anyway, eyebrow. So now that I have the tail where I want it, I'm more or less just following where it starts entering and chopping off everything below that. Because I didn't let these grow in completely, there's a very distinct line with the hairs that I don't want there. So now I'm just gonna go in and rip them all out. 'Tis the nature of tweezing. I'm trying. I can't get my brain on track. A ding, a ding. Oh, what's that sound? It's the gravy boat coming around. It's not a navy boat. It's a gravy boat filled with gravy, savory sailor folk. I'm gonna keep going with this. I've decided I'm just gonna do the one eyebrow on camera. It's the same thing on both sides. You get the gist. You get it. You get it. Okay. I'm still gonna come back after I do the second one to show what it looks like together. But like, it is so much harder doing it on camera. I have so much respect for beauty influencers, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, eyebrow. Pulling your face also helps a lot. I also have a monobrow at the same time, so I'm just gonna get that before I keep getting the underside. Because who wants a monobrow? There's actually some nice monobrows out there. It's just not for me. It's not my look. Like, it's too patchy. You need a solid monobrow. I'm not even sure if the microphone's picking up my rambling. I told you, it's hard to not look like a little fucking gremlin doing this. I should have picked the right eye. I am so sorry for being left-handed. I am left-handed, I am trans. Life be like that sometimes. Eyebrow. Okay, I got a weird hand position going on here. I should be able to make it visible for you guys now. Between you and me, I'm gonna go and do this in front of my standing mirror and then come back and we're both gonna pretend like I sat here the entire time and did it perfectly on camera. Throughout a time lapse even. I am not cut out. I'm not a beauty influencer. I can't do this. Okay, I'll be back in a second. I just need to get the bulk of it. I'll finish up on camera so it looks legitimate. Don't tell yourself. Everything back in, please. I could have just moved the camera up if I'm moving away. But no, I'm crouched over like this. Remember, I did all of that on camera. Wink. I am a great beauty influencer. Wink. As you can see, I got rid of about half of the height of like the regrowth. Honestly, it's a lot easier when it's not nearly as thick as the rest of the eyebrow. That's more or less why I advise doing it like one little bit at a time over a couple of weeks, so that way you're not overcommitting to something that you might not like and you're less likely to accidentally take out a huge chunk. I got nothing. Oh, hello again. How nice of us to be at a reasonable distance. Personal space is great. As I said earlier, I'm not going to do the second eyebrow on camera. It is the same steps, just on the other side. Use the invert filter to make sure you're not overcompensating on one side and it looks weird. I'm honestly not even sure if I have time to fix it up now. I might have one big eyebrow for the rest of the night. Yeah, I'm late for things. Trying to film this has made doing one eyebrow take 3 hours. Thank you for your patience with my first YouTube video. I really did try to keep things concise and be professional. Thank you for joining me on this joyous occasion. Once again, if you like the video, feel free to like it. I would love to hear thoughts. This was something. Look at him. Is he just chilling on the bed? He's just chilling on the bed. Where was I? Okay. Thank you for making it to this point in the video if you did. If you made it to this point in the video and would like me to be aware that you made it to this point in the video, please comment PFB clone. I think it would be really funny. I have no idea how she feels about it, but it's a running joke for me and I'm keeping it going. If you found it helpful, please let me know. I would love to keep being helpful. It's the only thing that makes me feel like I have a sense of worth. Subscribe, that's the last one. Okay. I keep getting distracted by Missile. Okay. Ain't he cute? Okay. Thank you for your time. I apologize for wasting it if I did. Yeah, I hope to see you around again. I did have fun making this, even though I seem very stressed. I'm having a great time. Promise. Did you have a good time? Okay. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye. What you still doing here? I said goodbye. Wow.